Did you notice that anytime there is airstrike on the terrorists from the Nigerian Air Force, there will always be a complaint of civilian casualties? Now, I want to explain to you what the media is not telling you about the Yobe and Borno border strike that just happened recently on Saturday. First of all, these are the 5 things that you should know about that airstrike. Number one, the Air Force struck a particular market called Jilli Market. This market is located in a border between Yobe State and Borno State. Now, they said that they struck the terrorists. That was what the Air Force said. They claimed that they struck the terrorists. Now, it began to circulate that there were about 200 civilian casualties. News came have it that it was the civilians that were in the market, that they bombed civilians. There were casualties. Gumi, everybody knows the Islamic cleric that have been speaking for the terrorists. He came out to say, to demand, he said that apology is not enough. He demanded an explanation, that he demanded the Senate to probe the Nigerian Air Force for bombing civilians. Pay very close attention. I want you to follow me. The Islamic cleric Gumi, he's demanding a probe on that airstrike. Now, just pay very close attention. The Governor Zulu said that they closed that market about 3 years ago. That they closed that market. The governor said that they closed that market about 3 years ago. Pay very close attention to what I'm about to explain. Now, the question is, why did they close that market? They closed that market because they noticed that that place is a stronghold of terrorists. They noticed that that is where the terrorists transact. They came to buy stuff that they are sustaining themselves with. They noticed that that area is now under the control of the terrorists. So they now make an official closure of the market. But remember, despite the fact that they have closed the market, it does not stop people from transacting in that market. Now, the question is, who are those transacting in the market? These are people who buy the idea of the terrorists. These are people who said to the terrorists, collect the money they make, give them what they want. So basically, these are terrorist zone. Don't forget that Gumi is demanding a probe and is defending these people. Then another thing I want you to pay a very close attention is that Nigerian army came out to say that they had an interview with a Boko Haram member that they captured. Then the Boko Haram member revealed that those people that were bombed in that market are terrorists coming from one of the terrorist persons that is in the custody of Nigerian army. That those people that are bombed in that market are terrorists. But remember, Gumi is demanding for a probe on that attack because, according to Gumi, there are civilian casualties. If you remember the incident of Sokoto State, the December bombing that Trump conducted, where Gumi said that terrorists does not fight terrorists. He also complained about the bombing, that there were civilian casualties. Now the question is, why is it that anytime the terrorists are bombed by Nigerian Air Force, that there will be a complaint of civilian casualties? This is to tell you that there is a mix-up, that the terrorists have mixed up with the civilians, and it is highly difficult to separate. Now, here is my final conclusion on the final solution to this problem. In Nigeria that we are today, there are territories that are being controlled by the terrorists that Nigerian army does not have access and cannot penetrate. Again, in Nigeria, we have Gumi, someone like Gumi, who is always defending these people, regardless, and he is untouched. Nobody is touching him. His name does not appear in the sponsors of terrorism, the list that the federal government dropped. Now, here is the final solution. Since we have found ourselves in this scenario, the best option for this is a peaceful and a total disintegration of Nigeria. Let us divide this country across ethnic lines and the religious lines. Let there be a total division whereby these Christian communities will defend themselves, practice their Christianity. Let this Muslim, because what is the agenda of this terrorist? Islamic State. Let them have the Islamic State in peace. For those that are Christians should join their Christian brothers regardless of their location, and the Christian government will defend them. That is the only option that will save this bloodshed that is going on in this country. But remember, like I always say, the problem and the major problem we have in this country is that we have Christian clerics that are too political to demand the probe on Christian genocide, which is a very, very big shame. Scan this thing that I say now with your IQ, scan it with your common sense if you have one. Don't forget, I'm a psychologist, the most influential person from the East, the online king. That is just it.